I think funny car drivers are crazy. I like my dragsters. They're the longer wheelbase. They go pretty dang straight. You're not steering them all over the racetrack. But honestly, I feel like I would hurt myself in a funny car.
Brittany, is it odd that I told your dad not to come over here and be a part of this interview because we want to talk to you, the most recent world champion when it comes to drag racing?
Thank you. First of all, I appreciate that, but I'll tell you right now, his feelings are really hurt. I don't know where he's going, but he has his glasses on, so you can't see, but he might be offended.
We know a little bit about John, and I'm having a little bit of fun here, but he gets emotional, not just what we see on camera, but he can get emotional and maybe feelings hurt or riled up that maybe some people don't see off camera. Some of that's real.
Yeah, he's a roller coaster of emotions, whether he's spun up about something or he's in the heat of battle or he's upset with me and we're arguing. There's always something, but it is a roller coaster with him. We just flew out this morning and we've been all over the place.
One thing that we're focusing on for March is Women in Motorsports, Women in Motorsports Month on MAV TV, and you're part of the conversation, kicking ass in the top fuel NHRA dragster and beating the bejesus out of dudes who wear pants. And the significance of women kicking ass in motorsports isn't lost on us. Do you still feel like you're carrying somewhat of a torch when you're out there in the race car for women in racing?
Absolutely. That's a role of mine. I've always that's been important to me, being a role model for this younger generation or girls my age or whoever. But definitely it's been something that's always been important to me. I know we didn't have a great season last year, but I've been successful throughout my career, and I know we'll turn things around this year. But again, when I'm out at the ropes and fans come up, it's always, younger girls or girls that drive junior dragsters or super comp, and they look up to me, and that is a win right there in itself.
That's true. You get past that rope, and I can only imagine an 8, 9-year-old girl coming up to you, and you're like, oh, my engine going to run? Am I going to qualify? And it's like, well, hold on, I got to connect with this little girl because she's going to remember this 30, 40 years from now when she met Brittany Force. So you've got to be cognizant of what this means to her.
Yes, I always am, and that's something my dad taught me, not just from, conversations and telling me and teaching me, but just witnessing him and watching him with the fans. Mm-hmm. The reason he has so many fans around him is because, first of all, his passion, his love for the sport, they could see it, and how great he is in the sport, but also the time that he spends with the fans. He's out there, he'll spend hours with the fans, signing autographs, taking pictures. He goes beyond for his fans, and I've seen that since I was a little kid, coming to the drag races. So that always influenced me, and that again goes in that same role of being a role model for this younger group that comes up, and making sure I'm out there with the young kids or adults, whoever it is, signing. But it's also because I wouldn't be able to do what I love if it weren't for these fans.
Janet Guthrie, Shirley Muldowney, Lynn St. James, were there women in motorsports or sports that Brittany Force looked up to?
Yeah, I have to go with my sister. I looked up to both of my sisters, my younger sister Courtney and my older sister Ashley. It was when I saw Ashley get into a super comp car, a field dragster, and then a funny car, where I kind of looked and thought, hey, I want to do that. When I was a kid, it was mostly all male out there. There were a few females, and it was, I remember Shelly Anderson, and I remember looking up to her. I didn't care who was in the lane next to her. She drove that pink car. She was a girl. I wanted her to win. So after that, it was definitely watching Ashley come up into the ranks, move into funny car, and it was, wow, I can't believe she's racing against my dad. And it kind of opened my eyes to that any girl can do this job and be in this career, or not just in motorsports, but in any position anywhere. And it was really watching her that gave me that push to go after what I wanted.
I didn't know where your love for racing came from. Clearly, you're the daughter of John Force, and you sat there and you watched races, but it was not until your sisters got in the cockpit that you thought that you could actually get behind the wheel as well.
I always loved the sport of NHRA drag racing. I loved coming as a kid. I knew I would be involved in the sport somehow, but it didn't really open my eyes to driving the car until I saw Ashley do it. And that's where I thought, oh, okay. I mean, when you look up to your older sister, you want to do everything she does. You want to dress the way she does. You want to do your hair the way she does. She's driving a race car. Okay, I think I want to do that next. It's just that younger sister, thing that you chase. You want to be your older sister. So, watching her get into the seat and be successful. And again, she started at Super Comp and then moved to A-Fuel and Funny Car. I followed in those footsteps, ultimately behind my dad, but definitely Ashley was the big factor in all that.
I also loved how you went into the rail, not into the Funny Car in the pro ranks. And why was that decision?
I drove Super Comp and A-Fuel, so I was used to driving top field dragsters. I've been licensed in a Funny Car. Not my favorite. I mean, if it came down to driving or not driving, yes, I would drive a Funny Car, but those things are freaking nuts. I'm not a fan. I think Funny Car drivers are crazy. I like my dragsters. They're the longer wheelbase. They go pretty dang straight. You're not steering them all over the racetrack. But honestly, I feel like I would hurt myself in a Funny Car. They are terrifying, so good luck to Austin this year. I'm left alone in top fuel.
Yeah, seriously. All right, you've had a massive shakeup in life in this off season. I'm so excited for you. You are engaged. Now, how is that going to be mentally? I'm assuming probably not any different because he was with you, these last couple years and watching you in racing. But now you have something to plan. Do you have good people around you to plan this damn wedding?
I'm going to have to find some help because I'm very much a planner. I like to be organized, but when it comes to wedding stuff, I don't have a clue where to begin. Most of my girlfriends, don't you have a Pinterest account with like all your dresses that? I'm like, no, I've never looked at wedding dresses. No, I've never looked at venues. No, I don't have anything mapped out because I was not engaged until this point. So there's a lot ahead. We don't want anything big. We want to keep it as small as we can and as easy as we can.
Have you had discussions with other women in motorsports, in drag racing in particular? Let me just keep it at that, because Leah Pruitt led a pretty significant statement out at PRI talking about how she believes NHRA should look into changing how the points stay with the driver, with the car, in case a woman does get pregnant and has to suddenly leave her season. Do you have thoughts on that matter, on maybe talking with the NHRA and improving this for you guys moving forward?
It's definitely something I've thought about, but it would have to be a decision for me, looking at what I would be comfortable with. It'd be a decision for me if down the road I decide, I'm married and I want to have kids, I will have to step out of the seat, remove myself completely from the situation because, yes, points go with the driver. So if you're mid-season, I wouldn't want to let my team down in that way. So, following NHRA's rules and points and how they do everything, you would have to step it out. So for me, it would have to be a decision I made before the season even starts.
All right, we talked to Ron Capps. He said he's going to this concert at Firebird. What are your Saturday nights like at a racetrack? Do you feel comfortable and having fun and heading out to a concert, maybe introducing a band on stage or something like you may be asked to do at Firebird?
I will definitely go check it out. I'll meet Ron. We'll head over there and go check it out. But I'm also, like I said, I'm very routine. Saturday night, it's race day the next morning. So I want to get, back early and get good sleep and get prepared for the next day.
I know Brittany Force, though, and Brittany Force is typically wearing that yellow hat come Saturday. So get on over there and have some fun for a little bit. You deserve it. You earned it.
Thank you. My team and we've always been really close. We try to go find things to do when we come into town, whether before the weekend starts or after the weekend. But Brainerd is one where we go check out the zoo. So this might have to be one where we go check out the concert.
Listen, your old man's right here. Ron Capps is right here. SpeedFreaks has been doing this for 23 years. To hear you, I got to focus Saturday night. I got to get some good sleep. Got to be in shape to race the next day. I mean, Ron and John, I never heard them say that 20 years ago, but I got to get some good sleep. Got to make sure I hydrate before I get in a race car the next day. It's where we are now with racing, isn't it?
If I did half of what they did years ago, I would have been fired long ago. I don't know how they got away with the things that they did Saturday night, Sunday morning. It's definitely a different world we live in now.
Do you remember coming to Firebird as a kid, rolling around in here? I'm in Phoenix. It's supposed to, where's the desert? Where are the cactus?
Yeah, this was a track my sisters and I always came to. I raced Super Comp here. I raced A-Field here, so very familiar with this track.
And it's kind of a psych. Hey, we're leaving. No, we're coming back. It's you can't leave Arizona out of drag racing, the history of this state, and in particular this track with the NHRA.
I know. I was, end of last season when we were here and signing shirts, and they were the final, you're seeing the racetrack go away. It was really sad. So I'm happy we're returning. I'm happy we're coming back. We need to be here. We need to be in this area.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Lucas Oil, it works.
Back again. Yes, indeed. Ludacris, I'm hotter than Nevada. Let's ride a cowboy.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.